Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today it's a story time, and this is way back in high school when I was in Form 2. Yeah, and then as you remember, okay, some of you while in primary school or high school, you've always written composition about a day to remember. So for me, before then, I used to just to fantasize, just to write whatever that comes in my mind, just to be creative and all that. And for today, I'm going to narrate for you a story that I'll live to remember even in my future days, because this happened when I was in Form 2 and I was schooling in a secondary school in Migori district, or is it a town? Yeah. And it's known as Moisuba Girls. Yeah, so if you're a student from Moisuba Girls, just like this and comment down if I'm telling the truth or I'm telling a lie, if you are there by then. Okay, so it happened that I was in Form 2 and I used to love physics as my subject, because when I got my first year exam, that is in Form 1, when I went back home, my dad was like, you can do better than this, you can be a pilot, you know, girls do better, you can work hard. And then when I joined, girls used to be like, physics is so difficult, you can't do it. Physics and geography, they are so difficult subjects in these schools, and most of the girls don't take them. And I can remember when I joined, only 2 girls were taking physics by then in Form 4. So when I went back home, remember, my dad talked to me, was telling me how I can do it. And then when we relocated, because we relocated when I was in Form 2, in Form 1, when we closed school, we went back home. And to where we went back home, I used to see aeroplanes fly over, and then I was like, okay, I want to be a pilot, I can be a pilot. So that was when my dreams changed, and that was when my love for physics came about, because even when I did my exam in Form 1, I was the second best. So I was like, I can do it. So in Form 2, yeah, we are now in Form 2. There was this teacher on practice who was taking us through mathematics and physics, and I just loved the way he used to teach us. Okay, he'd come to class, teach mathematics, and then go without giving you assignments or what to do. And I used to love that teaching model, because for me, I hate things that makes me bother myself. And then for the teacher, he used to make things very simple, and I could understand them and do them even if he gave us the work to do. So this physics teacher one day came to class, and he was like, if you want to take physics in Form 3, and you know very well that you are so determined to do it, you can be skiving for the Saturday classes. Okay, on Saturdays in that school, we used to have Bible lessons. That is a Bible study session. We could wake up at around 5:30, prepare, go to class around 6 a.m. and then from then we could study until 7, and then go for porridge, serve our porridge. And then after that, we could do our manual work. Manual work is when you go to where you are specified or allocated to work. So some of us will go to the washrooms, wash, and then some of the students will go to the class, clean the class, just early in the morning. And then we could work from 7 after porridge until around 10. From 10, we could have personal cleaning to around 11, and then from 11 to 12 we could go to class, and then that 1 hour or 2 hours we were just going to read the Bibles. And guess what? I could sleep because you're having a Bible, you just read flawlessly like a storybook, and you know the Bible, some of the stories don't connect, so you have to read that. You have to read. And most of the students used to hate that moment. They used to hate because how can you just read the Bible without being directed on what to do after that? And then I can remember by then we were having exams that were starting on a Monday, and remember it's on a Saturday, so we have to read the Bible for 1 hour, and then Monday we are having an exam. So by that teacher, he came and told us that since you are going to book your subjects in Form 3, why can't you just leave alone the Bible lesson, because Form 3s and Form 4s by then used to go to the physics lab and do their practicals there. So this teacher was like, you can just join them and go do whatever they're doing, and you can learn and see whatever you have to know before that time reaches, you see. And it was a good decision, by the way. So for us, okay, in our class we used to love physics so much because we had 2 streams, and then the other class said that their CRE teacher, and this CRE teacher used to be the CRE general in the whole school. He was the head of CRE department. So you see, it was a big challenge for us. Anytime we did exams, our class was the last in CRE, and he never liked our class because of that. And he used to teach us Kiswahili by then. Yeah, the teacher used to teach us Kiswahili, and he used to take CRE in the other class. So he loved his class more than he did to our class. So that one fateful day, we decided that, okay, this TP told us to go. Okay, TP is the teacher of practice. This TP told us to go join the Form 3s and Form 4s in their practical classes. You see? And then we went. Remember, we were just informed. So we went to the comp lab, and there were 2. So we went to the new computer, the new laboratory, I mean, sorry for that, the new laboratory room. So we went to the new one, which was meant for chemistry and physics. So the new one was for chemistry and physics, and then the old one was left for biology and home science students. Yeah, home science used to use that room mostly at night. So when we went there, the Form 2s and Form 4s were like, they were so confused. What are we doing there? And we've not chosen our subjects yet, because in that school, by the way, students choose their subjects in Form 3, not Form 2. But to other schools in Kenya, students do choose their subjects in Form 2. So for our case, it was different. Only the subject we could choose in Form 2 was between agriculture and home science. Yeah, so that you can take 11 subjects. But in Form 1, you are supposed to do 12 of them. So when we went to the computer lab, these Form 2, Form 4 and Form 3 students are like, you can use the other lab so that you can practice on your own, because for us we are far much ahead of you and you won't understand things that you are doing, you see. So we thought it was a great idea, and mark you, we even went with the students in the other stream. We went with the students for the other stream. So when we went there, we were like revising. There is this lady was called Marcella Puro. Yeah. So Marcella was the head. She was chairing the discussion, and we were still far much behind because when we went in Form 2, we never completed the Form 1 syllabus. So when we went to Form 2, so this teacher could teach us back to back. So there was another teacher who was taking us from Form 1, was teaching from the front book, and then the other teacher was teaching us from behind the syllabus, so that they come to a point that they will meet. So we were revising, and then this teacher who was the head of CRE department was on duty and came to the laboratory, that biology laboratory that we were using. So he came there and stood at the door, holding his waist like, "Are you not Form 2s?" So we were like, what does he mean? Can't he see whatever we are doing? We are just discussing. Is there anything that we have to explain about this? Since we are just using the time constructively, we were not playing, we were not storying, we were not doing all sorts of things, but we were just revising. And then this teacher was like, "Am I not talking to you?" So at that point is when we realized this teacher is so angry at us, and we don't know what happened to him before he came to school, because he was so angry. And then we said, Marcella replied that we are, because she was at the front writing for us those revision questions and what. So she was like, "We are." And then he was like, "What are you doing here? Yet other students are in the classroom taking their Bible lessons, Bible study hour." And then we were like, we were told before even we could complete a sentence, this teacher just told us to go outside. We are so foolish. He started calling us all names. And then by seeing this, we saw that no, there is something that is not going on well here. He came in that room, started caning like anyone he could get just in front of him. And then we were running, just scrambling to the other side, because we were so afraid of the cane to be punished. So we all went outside because he commanded us to go outside. So when we were outside, he was like, go to those watchmen. Okay, our room, the laboratory room used to be just near the gate. Okay, for most super girls, you know that it's near the gate. And then there is a place that those watchmen used to live, just far behind, just near the fence on the other side. So those watchmen were not at the gate at the moment, just one person was there. And this teacher told us to go to the watchmen to get the djembes. You see, we were going to be given a very hard punishment, and it was so difficult for us on that day. So we were running. He commanded us to run. If you walk, he could follow you and then cane you. You are not to walk. You are not to look back like, what is he trying to do? You are not to do that. You are to go running. So we went running and then asked the watchman if he can give us the djembes, and he was like, no, they are not here. The agriculture students in Form 4 took them because they're using them for their project. Because in Form 4 in Kenya, you get students, Form 4 students who are taking agriculture, using those items during their project time, because it's going to be interviewed or marked for the national exam, you see. So they were not available in the room at the moment. and there were few of them. So we came back running, and then when we were talking to the guy, the teacher that is, he was so furious, he couldn't even listen to us. He was like, run to the farthest end. So you see, on this block where we were just in front of the computer lab, in front of the lab, facing the opposite side, you could just run run straight. We were running straight, and then when we got to the farthest end, you know where we were? At the toilet. We were at the toilet, and there was a fence. You can't even jump and go outside, because it was like, continue running. So where are we going to run? Where were we going to run? Were we going to jump the fence and go? No. So we stood there, and he came. You are still standing here, you idiots. So he was just calling us bitter names. He was so angry. We never knew what happened to the guy, by the way. And then we were like, we were running at the same time crying, because we don't know where we've offended him or where we've went wrong, because we were just doing whatever the teacher told us. So when we got to the farthest end at the toilet, near the fence, he came there and started calling us names and told us to go run towards the dorms area, or the dorm section. So we went there running. Remember, it was on a Saturday. Some of us were having slippers on their feet. Some of us were running with their feet wet and then left their slippers fell off. So we were there. We reached at the dorm section. Okay, on the dorm section, they used to have a pavement. So we thought maybe the punishment is going to give us now is to scrub that pavement, you see, because they've been worked on and it was clean, and we never knew whatever he's going to do for us or give us as a punishment on the dorm section, because the dorms were even closed. So while standing there, he came, started caning those who were standing near him, and we were just running behind each other. And then he was like, you fools, you think you own this school, you think that teacher is helping you. So he was sort of angry with the teacher as well, you see, because the teacher was on just on a practice, and to him it seemed that this teacher has no say in this school, you see, because he's the head of the CRA department. And then we ran. He told us to go behind the dome. Okay, behind it was Belmont. Is it Belmont and Paradise, or yeah, I think it is Belmont and then Paradise, the story dome. So we went behind there, and behind the story dome was we used to pour our dirt, you see. It was a trash bin. There used to be trash all over that place, just behind the dome. And then he told us that, you see this heap of dirt, I want you to transfer it to that hole. There was a hole that was dug recently, and we never knew the use of that hole. So he told us to transfer this dirt, this rubbish, all of it into that bin. And then in that school we used to take our trashes in that place, and then it was like a heap. It was just building a mountain of trash. So we went there, and he was following us while running, so whoever he could get near him was just to cane and go, and he was not leaving you behind, so you have to be in front of him. So we went to that place, and we had this lady called Diana. So Diana was sort of trying to put on paper bags on her hand so that she can hold the trash, you see, just to keep yourself clean and safe from infection. She was really caned. She was really caned. And then we were like, so what does he want? So there was this other lady known as Pamela Duro. Pamela, if you watch this, kindly subscribe and comment. So so Pamela took a basin, a broken basin, and a stick. So she was trying to, just trying to pull them using the stick into the basin and to go and throw. She was really caned. She was really caned. Then this teacher left us there, telling us not to put on anything on our hands, just to ferry them using our bare hands. You just dig a mountain of trash and dirt, and remember that was the only place that school used to decompose or to throw the dirt in the school, the whole school. So it was there. It was a mountain built for years. You see, you can remember how it was. And during those time, it was raining. It was a rainy season, and there were maggots. It was really, you thought you could think it's just soil, but it's not soil. It's just that the data, some of them were decomposing. And remember, it's a bin where ladies also used to throw their sanitary towels, because in that school we were not allowed to throw our sanitary towel in the toilet, because they thought it was so difficult for those people emptying the latrine, if it's full, to get those things, or even when the exhauster comes, it was so difficult for the exhauster to do all that work. So we did that work using our bare hands. This teacher left us there, went to the classrooms where students were still inside taking their personal Bible hour study, closed each and every door. Can you remember that? Can you just imagine that, guys? He just went, closed each and every classroom, so that no student can go to the toilet, no student can walk outside the classroom or go to fetch water, or even, he even closed the classrooms until it was around 1. And we used to go to lunch on a Saturday at around 12. So 1 extra hour, you're just inside the classroom. It was hell. It was hell on earth that day for us. And in high school, on weekends, it's when you really get hungry. Yeah, I don't know why. I used to get so hungry that even if I take anything, I was not even getting satisfied. It's a true story. So I don't know how those people were really punished, because I think they were punished because of us or something, or maybe they were making noise in classrooms. Maybe, I'm just saying maybe. I don't know why the doors were closed. So if you are there and the door was closed, just let me know why the door was closed on that day. Because we were not in classrooms, we were down there behind the heap of the dirt, collecting that dirt. So when the time came for lunch, it was now 1. It was 1 p.m. This teacher went back and opened the classrooms. You see, after opening the classrooms, students were released to go for lunch, and it was my favorite meal in the school, githeri. I used to love githeri, and at that moment, you see people going to make a line to go to be served. People were going to be served lunch, as we are still here at the bin, transferring that dirt, all that dirt into the empty hole. So we did that until that place came so flat. And remember, he came back to us, watching over whatever we were doing, and then went back and ordered the vice president. By then that vice president came and told us that now I'm going to stand here for you as you continue, but I'm going to take my lunch. I'll come back. So when the lady went, we were like, go tell the cooks to leave us some food and to keep it for us, because in that school no one could leave you food if it was not communicated by the student who was an official. You see, if it's not an official or a teacher, then the food was to be served to all students who were available at that moment. So when we finished doing this work, the teacher came, released us. You see, we were so dirty. And we could not even go to the kitchen with that stench. So we went to take a shower. We were so muddy, you could think that we are from a clay soil. We were just playing in a clay soil or what, so in a mud or something. So we went to take a shower before we could go to the kitchen, because remember, our hands were full of dirt, full of so many things, because in there we could get maggots, all sorts of things. So just remember, you couldn't even get your plate with your own hands. So we went to take a shower. After that, we went to the kitchen. When we got to the kitchen, guys, we were told there was this cook whom we used to enjoy or joke with a lot in school. He was so short. He was somehow short, not that short. I can't recall his name, but he was just a good cook. So we were like, we went there, we lined to be served, and then this cook was like, there is no food left. We served all the food to the students, and then we were like, we even sent an official to come to tell you to leave some of the food for us, because we were still working. We were having a punishment. And then this cook was like, the teacher came and told me to serve all the food to the students. So what was I to do? Imagine, that's how we missed our lunch. Mark you, it was on a weekend. And then at this moment, students, most of the students have completed eating their food, so you can't even go and borrow someone food, because the canteen was closed at the moment. So each and everything was just turning around and just being so difficult on us. So after that, we just went, fetched water, took water to class. We just sat down trying to figure out what happened, and the students who were left in the classroom were like, we've been telling you not to show off yourself, so see whatever has happened to you, because you don't want to listen. We are telling you guys not to drop the physics thing, and you don't want. And we were like, we just kept quiet. And that was it, guys. That's how it went down. And that's a day to remember for me. For me, guys, that's a day to remember, that I'll always narrate to anyone who wants to hear about it, and to narrate to my kids, even to my grandchildren to be. Yeah, so thanks so much for listening and tuning into this channel, guys. I love you so much, and I'd want you to just comment and tell me whatever you think about it, and how, if you could be the one, what could you have done by then, and just let me know what you think about how my experience in high school and by there that was my first punishment in high school. And even when I started my schooling, that was my first and the last punishment that I've ever had since I started schooling. So just let me know yours. Maybe your experience and your punishment was so difficult or so light compared to mine. You can just hit the comment section. Let me hear from you too, and we'll always keep on being together, and let's grow together, guys. I pray so that you can so that God can keep you in good health and continue seeing many more days to come. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.